Alrighty guys, what is poppin'? It's your boy Lovenothotss, and today I am going to be showcasing a little mixture of a Superconduct slash freeze comp. And this team is going to be built around Shingsho, as well as Fischl, Diona, and Ganyu. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to address is this Geovision because like as I paused from the previous video, this one came right at me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let him kill off a little bit official. Just wanted to do some damage so I can showcase to you guys like just how easy it is to actually I didn't mean to dodge, sorry, it's just a reflex. Alright, there we go. So, essentially, it's really easy to sustain a team like this, right? And you don't actually have to take any damage because you're freely able to proc these statuses and keep yourself shielded and pick up really quick kills, right? And you also have Diona available to heal you if you're just an idiot who decides to stand still and take hits until you're almost dead. So, essentially, what I'm saying is that this team is really self-sustained. So let's go into the breakdown. So first things first, we got Sacrificial Shingsho running 4-piece Noblesse Oblige to boost all your party members' attack, as you'll be auto-attacking with Fischl and charge attacking with Ganyu. You want to boost their damage as much as you can that they can carry, right? And that's why you don't really want to be running 2-piece Heart of Depth on him over Noblesse. You only want to do that if you're running him as a DPS, if you're running with like Festering Desire, right? But if you're running with Sacrificial, you want him to get his burst up, then you want to use his burst with Noblesse Oblige, give the entire team entire party an attack bonus, switch into your other sub DPS, main DPS, right? And let them hit like a truck. Alright, you don't want to be giving this guy the extra 50% hydro damage. It's just silly in comparison to the extra 20% attack on his own burst plus the extra 20% on his teammates. So in case you're making that mistake of running Sacrificial with 2-piece Heart of Depth, you know. Next up, Ganyu running 4-piece Wanderer. That's easily her best in slot 4-piece set. If you don't have this, then you can run Blizzard Strayer. You're just losing out on a little bit of damage. It is what it is. Once you get your hands on a nice Wanderer set, then you can go ahead and, well, run Ganyu. So, Shingsho stats, a little bit of crit rate, crit damage, energy recharge, and then hydro damage bonus. Right? Ganyu on the other hand, crit rate, crit damage, a little bit of energy recharge, and then cryo damage. Now, she gains extra crit rate actually from her, what's it called? Her passive. So she actually has 60% crit rate on her charge attacks after you use the first one. So it's not too horrible. It does crit most of the time, but there are of course some times when it doesn't crit as well, which doesn't really matter too much given how high her base attack is. And if you also have a nice damage bonus from Noblesse, she's still doing some pretty decent damage, but once you add on Cryo Resonance and the Freeze, then it really helps patch up that crit rate. So she really crits extremely consistently. I'm just trying to be modest, you know, but frankly, with Cryo Resonance and her passive, she's critting like pretty much all the time. And you just gotta be literally unlucky to not crit. So I'm just letting you know it's actually really consistent, even with only 40% base crit rate. Ammo Stone, easily her best weapon. And then again, 4-piece Wanderers is just there. As for Fischl, I'm running her as more of a pseudo sub DPS character. So she has Bloodstained Chivalry there to boost up her physical damage, as well as 2-piece Gladiator Finale to boost up her electro damage and physical damage. Now you can also run 2-piece Thundering Fury. I would say that's better as a sub DPS for electro damage. However, you're losing damage on your auto attacks. So I just went for this route just so that when I want to just get some really quick kills with auto attacks and I don't want to spend time charging Ganyu or using my E skill with Shingsho or whatever, I can just simply switch into official bop 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 auto attack. It's dead. I have Scoured Harp. Where is it? Scoured Harp, I also get the proc effects, and I also adds extra physical damage when I rotate her in. I don't main DPS her, I sub DPS her. And that's precisely why I run a Electro Goblet. However, I also have a Physical Goblet, right? And it's not too bad. It's on set Gladiator, so I can even use I can use a Physical Goblet and then do some tests for you guys and show you the difference. I've already done it myself and I compared them, and it's literally just what you'd expect. Like, you do more on your auto attack, less on your E, and the damage bonus that you lose on your auto attack when you use a physical goblet isn't really worth using over the electro goblet as a sub DPS. It's only worth it as a main DPS, because that's when you're actually using the auto attacks enough for that damage to out damage Oz, right? So if you're using it as a sub, then the extra electro damage is just doing so much damage that it still overshadows the physical damage bonus that you'd be getting from this, because you wouldn't be doing physical damage that often. Given how even though Skyward proc is physical, you have to be using it to be doing that proc. So that's why I'm using her like this, and I definitely recommend using her along the lines of two-piece Glad, two-piece Bloodstain, or I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. You can use two-piece Thundering Fury over other of them, but I feel like Bloodstain honestly just gives you that nice extra oomph, you know? But then the Gladiator ties in really nicely because it boosts both electro and physical. You know, like if you just chose to bias the electro over the physical here, it's still not bad. I don't know how fast it really picks up kills when you do switch her in, but that's why I think this is the best personally for the sub DPS role, just because you get the physical damage, you get extra physical damage and electro, and then you get electro. So you get a main, you kind of get like a main bonus on both of them, and you're not really too biased. You could even go two-piece Pale Flame over two-piece Glad if you want to sacrifice a smidge more of the electro damage just for a little bit more physical damage. But I think Gladiator is also a little bit better, so you just gain the consistency on both spectrums. So, anyways, next up, it's really up to your preference. For Diona, have her on 4-piece Noblesse. Honestly, you could run her with Maiden or anything like that, but I generally tend to use her in the Spiral Abyss. I don't really use her in open world too much. I generally just use Zhongli, but I'm just trying to showcase this for you guys. And if I use Zhongli, then I'm gonna be kind of inclined to like use Zhongli a little bit more because its burst is so damn spicy, especially with 200% crit damage. It does some really solid damage alongside the Black Cliff pull. So I'm just like, if I'm using like characters like that, I mean, I don't know if I'd really be so inclined to like, you know, use anyone else but Zong and Ganyu at that point. So I'd just be Zong Shield and then Ganyu everything, and then Xingqiu here and there. Like that point, Fischl becomes kind of redundant. So that's why I would be using Diona to help apply crowd of enemies to help freeze them. Her sacrificial sword will be resetting my skill cooldown so I can generate more cryo energy particles for Ganyu to keep her burst up. And then additionally, I can also use that in conjunction with Fischl's Oz to help create Superconduct to increase her physical damage when she is indeed on the field. So, again, you might be thinking it could be weird to have two Noblesse users on the team, but keep in mind, Noblesse is literally just an attack bonus, and I don't really need to be using Diona's Burst to heal up because I don't really take damage given her shield. So if anything, it's really only Xingqiu who is using the burst, right, on this team. You can use two-piece Heart of Depth while you have another Noblesse user on the team, but it kind of does restrict you in the sense that now I'd have to use Diona's burst against even the most basic of enemies just to simply get like the bonus on the entire team, and at that point I'm having to regenerate her energy using the sacrificial. It's just silly. It's just silly. So honestly, it's like she can keep this, but she's not using it right now. She'd only be using it in like Abyss where the enemies are actually like tanky enough to be doing damage to you, and like then you'd require the extra attack to help retaliate. So honestly, she's probably never gonna use a burst once in this video. So it doesn't even matter what the heck she runs, dude. Like for this video showcase, like all that really matters is 4-piece Noblesse Xing, 4-piece Wanderer, or 4-piece Blizzard Ganyu, as well as a decent official built out with like Gladiator, Bloodstain, or Thundering Fury, something like that. As for her official stat, she's running 60% crit rate, 220 crit damage, 122 recharge. Diona is focusing on energy recharge, 19 crit rate, 50 crit damage. I don't even think that's any crit damage actually. And then 183% recharge, so a lot of recharge there just to help her keep her burst charged up in case I want to get a Noblesse bonus, which again, since I could run her on so many teams, I don't really need to rely on having another Noblesse user. Honestly, this guy is only like this because he runs it really well. So with that being said, let's go on ahead, head on around. I can showcase how this team would work. I need to do some ley lines for EXP books, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear some of those off for you. You're going to see effectively how these two work together. Is that Diona pretty much uses her E, So like apply crowd at enemies, and then Xingqiu could just go ahead and freeze them in place. You know, and he can also regenerate his own energy, and boom, his burst is back up. Now he can use his 4-piece noblesse bonus, and then you can go into official, ganyu, whatever, and do your thing. You're shielded. That's literally how the team works. So as you can see, Diona never really uses her burst. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I can battery her, right? I can battery her and help her recharge her energy, but it's not like it really makes any sense to actually use the ability. You can come in here and superconduct on these guys, no problem, and Fischl goes ahead and wipes them out, right? So essentially how this team works is that you're able to be mobile and like versatile depending on the type of enemy, right? So like I can even freely just use my burst here, and I can also just freely attack this guy, and then Xingqiu wraps up essentially. Fischl took a smidge of damage earlier, so I can easily just let Xingqiu come in and help patch up a little bit of health that she lost. So these are more like nice exploration teams in the sense that you can have fun. You're not too walled by any particular type. If I'm up against like cryo slimes, for example, I will still have Fischl available to help me break through their shields. And additionally, I also get superconduct. So that does more physical damage to them when their shields are gone. So they die even faster. Right? So it's not like you're fully walled by anything. If I was to run like a full-on cryo team or cryo hydro, it could be a little bit harder, especially given how Xingqiu's burst applies the wet status to you, so they can easily like freeze you up and stuff. So yeah, this is where Ganyu's burst comes in handy. Fischl's E comes in really handy here. And then as you can see, auto attacks pretty much just do a lot, but you don't really need to. Really don't need to. And then over here, even Ganyu's burst is pretty much almost a max. I could have used a little bit more of Diona E. These guys just died too quickly, so I couldn't really showcase. But one more E from Diona brings Ganyu's burst right back up to max, or one more charge attack from Ganyu, in addition with her Constellation 1, which gives you extra energy when you charge attack level 2 on enemies. That would have been her burst right back up again. As you can see, Xingqiu has his burst, so there goes Noblesse 4-piece. You can get your sacrificial proc, and then official is free with her burst. Like, this team just loops, constant DPS. So it's also really effective in places like the Spiral Abyss. Right now, I need to farm books, so I'm just gonna go around farm books, right? That's all I really need to do. Right. Oh, I missed. I'm just gonna go ahead and farm books real quick, because I need those for beta. And this theme is a lot of fun to use out in the world as well. I'm just showcasing builds that will give you guys a lot more enjoyability, you know, because I'm telling you, like, using things like Hu Tao and Xingqiu are so much fun, right? I've done that a lot. The damage numbers are amazing, the consistency is amazing. However, things die so fast too sometimes that it's like, you don't even get a chance to really enjoy it, you know what I mean? At least with this, you get more chances to like switch around, kind of use like some more stuff, you know? It's not like everything just drops dead instantly, and that's what I kind of like at this point in the game, you know? You kind of get to a point where you actually want some playability from your stuff, you know? So, it's pretty nice. I don't want to fully paralyze our boy here. We can also freeze him. And we can go back into this, and bam, we get our burst back up. I think Xingqiu's one took some damage, so we can even let the rain swords heal him off if we want to. It doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and pop up our burst. But yeah, like, this team sustains itself really nicely, and you don't really have to worry about like getting walled by enemies or not having an answer due to them being like at a far distance, because you have a range. You got decent auto attack abilities, so if your abilities are all down, you got official there to help spam, you know. So like, you have the option to change up your playstyle. If you want to be a freaking charge attack scrub, you just hide behind the Diona shield and just charges all day long. Well, guess what? You can do just that with this team. If you want to be someone who's more tryhard, you want to dodge, freaking proc, whatever, you got Xingqiu Diona around there, man. Have some fun. Got official odds if you want to be super lazy. Like, super lazy. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you want to be lazy, bro, you want to be lazy, bro, you got official Oz, bro. Like, this team is just a chill team that you can just use and explore and have absolutely no worries whatsoever. So if you don't really want to have to put in too much effort, you know, a team like this will definitely suit you. Most definitely. You can also freeze that hole. You can go right back in and bam, there's your burst up again. But wait, why am I not using new burst? It's just because I don't need to. That's really why. I just don't need to here. But guess what? If you're up against like bulkier enemies, well, then it could come in handy, right? It could come in handy. But frankly, I don't even need to. I already do more than enough damage. So it's all just a chill thing. You know what I mean? We just chilling. Where is Beto? I need to level up this one. Let's toss these in there, yeah? Like 20 of these. Cool, cool. So we also have like bounties and requests and stuff. So I'm just gonna wrap up my resin here on these ley lines. I'll do one more. I have my refills left, so I'm not gonna do all the refills on stream, right? Not well. I mean, I will do them on stream, but I won't do them all in the video, I should say, because I'll be like dragging this on too long. It's really just to showcase the team and like how self-sustaining it can be, and it's really really fun to use an open world, you know. And you can use someone like Ela as well, but then you wouldn't really have a use for Fischl then, because Fischl at that point is really just going to be proccing Superconduct, right? So it's like you'd be reliant on her E skill, right? And you'd have to be running your more energy recharge and more oriented towards Electro build only. But the good thing about that is that it's cheaper. You know, you can run that with a stringless, you don't have to worry about not having a Skyward Heart, because at that point you only care about elemental skill damage, you don't care about auto attack damage. Whereas Harp, you get both elemental skill and auto attack damage, but the trade-off is that it's 5-star and that it's harder to obtain and yada yada. So, you know, at least that means that you can just dedicate to making Eula physical DPS, you can dedicate to making Fischl sub DPS, right? So you have like a whole lot of freedom, right? It's really nice. Go ahead and pop this down, pop this down, pop this down. You got so many options. You can go ahead and activate this. It's just a blast. Absolute blast with this team. You got many ways to heal. You got many ways to consistently keep your team buffed. Keep your team healthy. It's really, really consistent. And fun to use, honestly. So highly recommend it if you just want something that you can relax with and that you don't really have to try too hard to, you know, get by, essentially. Whoa, this seems so far. Holy balls. Alright, yeah, I'm just continue with this. I'm gonna have to use a refill. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the team showcase. Jingsho is an amazing support unit. He's easily my most used support unit, my most used sub DPS, as I have had him since like October, right, with the original Venti banner at C6. So I just tended to use him a lot because I acknowledged how good he was. Just used him before he was even meta or whatever, right? But he's still really, really good, you know, and I definitely enjoy using him. So highly recommend you guys, if you haven't already built him, definitely get your hands on a 4-piece noblesse set, yeah. It'll sweet you. It'll sweet you. Can assure you that one. And this is right back up. Heat. Crazy, right? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep, this team is quite fun indeed. I mean, you have the option to do whatever you want. You can just main DPS with ganyu behind a shield. You can sub DPS with Fischl paired up with Xingqiu rain swords to make up for the lack of physical damage on the goblet, just because you have all that extra sub DPS damage. And then you can just switch her out right after, not feeling like you're missing out on much damage because you know you're using Electro Goblet, so you're doing more off-field damage than someone using a physical goblet. Whereas on the other hand, if you're using physical goblet, you'd be losing damage when you switch out. So it's like, It's literally just such a wonderful synergy, and like everyone can always cover for each other at all times. It's so good, so good. It's just one of my favorite teams. I mean, I like so many different teams. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and showcase other world teams that I like using, but this is just one example. You know, like there's electro charge. There's like a mix of superconduct paired up with raw cryo. So this one's also just raw cryo, right? You have cryo resonance, diona, ganyu, and then ganyu just does amazing cryo damage. You can obviously add her in with a pyro to do significant melt damage. This team is more meant for just like open world exploration, easy going times. You know, if you want to maximize damage, then melt is going to give you more damage with someone like ganyu. So pairing up with someone like Benny Boy, Shieldling, or Cleave, and I love her with Cleave, allows you to do some really good damage too. So I can show you a team like that as well if you want to have an idea of what I'm referring to. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this little team review. This is Shingsho, Ganyu, Official, and Diona together. Ironically running a two Noblesse users, and you're seeing here, like, I can even run Noblesse. Like, I can even pop a burst here while Shingsho's E is on cooldown, so now I get more damage on Shingsho's E instead on the other hand, while still also being able to freeze. You know? But of course, on the other hand, what's it called? I do not have the shield up because I didn't go right into using my shield, which was kind of silly. I should have done that, but yeah, like, it's super fun, super fun. I also have my burst up on this. I think this gives Diona her burst up, so it's quite fun indeed. Okay, yeah, so take it easy, guys.